Let's hit some anytime goal scorers as well as safe shots on goal for some of these goalies. Give me both teams to score in the first period. That's coming in at plus 185 compared to the over 1.5 that is at minus 120. Okay, you guys ready? Let's make some freaking money. It's time for Pocket with Jo. Good morning, everyone. Happy Wednesday. It is February 26th. Jo here of SportsGrid. It's time for Pocket with Jo over here on SportsGrid TV on X, as well as YouTube. Now, you guys, I feel like today is a really simple show. We've got 3 games on deck, and we made some freaking money last night. Hopefully, you tailed some of those player props like Braden Point for the anytime power play point. That came in at plus 240 for us. We had a lot of winners across the board. We were also able to play around with some of those goalie props as well as some of those other players. So definitely was a good day. Good morning to you, Matt. Good to see you here this morning. But 3 games, and if I could summarize these 3 games in 2 picks, home team, and the under. That is where I'm going with all 3 games. So if that's all you wanted to hear is that I like the home teams and the unders today. And if you're an over better and you're liking some of those road teams, well, I'm on the opposite page as you. I can't believe I'm liking all of the home teams. And yes, one of those home teams is a dog versus the Winnipeg Jets with the Ottawa Senators at home. The Winnipeg Jets winning their last 10. So we're going to step in front of that win streak today. I do think they have every ability, Ottawa at home. Now, it is going to depend on who gets out there on the ice. Brady Tkachuk was out there in skate. We know Pinto's not going to be out there, but it looks like Josh Norris will be as well. So let's jump into these games. Again, you guys, if you want the simplified version, the under 5.5 in all of these games and the home team. So let's jump into the first game here. It is the Winnipeg Jets versus the Ottawa Senators. Now, the Winnipeg Jets are minus 140 favorite after winning their last 10 games. Their last 2 games since coming back from the break have gone all the way to overtime. They were able to get the win versus the St. Louis Blues and the San Jose Sharks. But again, that fear of God was put in them after that game versus the San Jose Sharks that took them to overtime after having to play that last game to overtime. Now, tired legs has got to come into play at some point. We have Connor Hellebuyck as the listed goalie expected. It could be Eric Crombie. I look here at the Ottawa Senators. Ullmark is expected. Now, Ullmark, we know those issues. So looking at this total, 5.5 juice to the under at minus 128. You guys already know I'm going there with that total. The thing is, when we look at these goaltenders, now I have full faith in Connor Hellebuyck or Eric Crombie to keep this to the under when I look at that. Ullmark, we know, has struggled to keep the puck out of the back of his net. He's had those issues, but when we look at him versus the Winnipeg Jets, he's actually excelled. Versus the Winnipeg Jets in his career, he has a .945 save percentage and a 2 goals against average. So while in his last 3 games, he's gone 0-3 with a 4.88 goals against average, he has been that goaltender that can play against the Winnipeg Jets. So look for him to do his part to keep it under. So even if you don't like Ottawa to step in front of the Jets and get this win, I do think you look here just clearly at the under with a goaltending duel between these guys. Now, Ottawa, you're not getting much value for them to pull off the win here. It's only plus 116. Did I want more value? Absolutely. Especially against a team that has won their last 10. So I was hoping for a plus 150, plus 160 mark here for the Ottawa Senators. They've lost their last 4. That last game came at home, 5-2, but this has been a strong team at home. We look at them at home on the season, 16, 8-2, sitting a 5th here in the Atlantic. Now, when we look at their schedule, they lost on Saturday. They played that game Saturday. It's Wednesday now, so they're coming in rested. Then they don't have to play till the Sharks on Saturday and the Capitals on Monday, and that will be out on the road. The Sharks will be at home. So they've got a pretty lax schedule. Remember, this is a team that really, before the break, had some brutal scheduling matchups out there. And we did see those struggles in those scheduling matchups. They played so many games out there on the road only to return home for 1 game and then head back out on the road. So this is a little bit of a reprieve for them in their schedule. When we look at the Winnipeg Jets, first night of back-to-back, they do have the Predators on deck tomorrow. So it'll be interesting to see which goaltender they start here. We know the Winnipeg Jets are hot. won their last 10. They're sitting 8-9 on the road, first in the Central. This team is just steamrolling out there, but I don't love the fact that both of their games have had to go to overtime. So I think the Senators can pull off the upset at plus 116. This will be a live betting situation to come back in on them as well. If we see them go down and Winnipeg scoring early on Allmark, then look for him to be able to lock down. So again, I will put a half unit on the plus 116 for the Ottawa Senators and then hope to come back in at that plus money. So that is where I'll be going. The under 5.5, definitely the best bet of this one. Now, Tkachuk took reps, like I said. Norris is also expected to play, but it's Pinto that we don't think we'll see in the lineup. He needs a little bit more time. Upper body injury there. For Tkachuk, it was his lower body, and Norris was his upper body as well. So let's jump into the next game, you guys. Chad going with the Jets. Yeah, of course you're going with the Jets there. Let's go into the next one, you guys. We've got the New Jersey Devils taking on the Colorado Avalanche. Now, Colorado's lost their last couple of games out there. They're coming in at minus 154 on the money line at home. We've got the New Jersey Devils at plus 128, a total of 5.5. Now, this 5.5 juiced that over at minus 124. But like I told you guys, I am looking at unders today. So the under 5.5 coming in at plus 102. We should be able to get 2 of the 3. I really do lean for all 3 of these ones staying under that total. When we look here, you would expect the Devils and the Colorado Avalanche really to light the lamp. Now, in that Winnipeg Jets game, if Allmark doesn't play as expected, we will see Winnipeg dominate and put up 4 or 5 goals. So that is not out of the question, but I do think Allmark comes to play like he has before versus the Jets. So in this one, we need Mackenzie Blackwood versus his former team to really stand on his head. And then we need Jake Allen to do so as well. Jake Allen has been hot or he's been not. Jake Allen stresses me the heck out there on the ice between the pipes because in his last 5 games, you look at him, he's been able to record 2 shutouts, but in the other games, he has just fallen flat on his face and allowed the goals to absolutely pile up. Jake Allen is a 212-1 on the year, so not great numbers, a 2.58 goals against average. And then I love the angle of Blackwood. So we need Jake Allen to play nice and strong out here. We know Blackwood can get it done. We know the defense gives that protection, especially with Cale Makar and how strong Cale Makar is out there on the ice. Now, Cale Makar has been averaging over a point per game in the last 10 games with 6 goals and 4 assists. So you can always count on him. He's so strong from that blue line. He's getting those shots on net. And with him and Nathan McKinnon and Martin Necas moving over from the Carolina Hurricanes, you know you have such a stellar team here with Colorado. But I am expecting that bounce back out of Jake Allen. When we look at him versus Colorado, he's actually had pretty solid numbers. So I'm not too concerned here. The Devils have been really inconsistent offensively. You know, Jasper Bratt and Luke Hughes have been standing on their head to be able to get those shots and try to get these teams to win. We saw Jack Hughes really quiet in the Four Nations, but then came out nice and strong on the weekend. They were able to get that big win versus the Preds, 5-0 on Sunday, and they have gone 6-4 in their last 10. We've seen the Avs lose their last 2. I think they have to break this losing streak. It is the first night of a back-to-back for this team, though. They have first home game off a back-to-back road game. Sorry, it's the first home game of a back-to-back road game. So they were out on the road for those 2 losses this weekend. And then this is their first time home, and then they'll face the Wild on Friday. So I'm looking at this matchup to be one where Colorado needs this win. The problem is with Colorado, they're minus 154 on the money line. Just not a place we want to go with this team. It's way too juicy now. If you got this bet before this line went up, you were able to get Colorado right around minus 112. And I do think that is where you would have wanted to hit on them. But at this point, it is just hard to hit on Colorado at this price. So I think the under is where you got to go in this one. You can look at some player props as well. I would be circling Cale Makar and Nathan McKinnon on the power play. That's where I think Colorado is going to convert and be able to get the win. Now, everything was locked on FanDuel just a couple minutes ago, and I'm going to check here. They keep thinking I'm not a human and not allowing me into the site. If you can get the first period on the puck line for Colorado, I expect them to go up fast in this game. I also could see this being a game where both teams score quick in that first period, and then we see the lockdown in the second and the lack of goals then in it. So I think the under is going to scare us, but it is 7-2-1 in the last 10 meetings in Colorado to that under. Nico Hischier is back in the lineup for the Devils since the break. He is leading that second line, so look for the captain to also come out nice and strong for the Devils. But at the end of the day, I'm expecting Blackwood to stand on his head and do everything out here to get Colorado the win, and Jake Allen to do enough to keep us under the total of 5.5. I'm going to move on to the next one. Good morning, Kev. Thank you so much for being here today. Vinny, if time permits, can you give a 3-leg team or total parlay in the recap? Of course, Vinny, I can do that. Vinny, just to let you know, if you didn't join us at the start of the show, I like all the home teams and all of the unders today. So that is your recap for the show. We cashed big last night, Kev. It was a fantastic day out there on the ice. The Blues first period, puck line -1.5. The Blackhawks first period. Yeah, Kevin, you pointed out the Blackhawks. A really good call value. You were talking about the Blackhawks. I took them straight up on the money line for the full game. Utah was able to get back in it, but you said it there yesterday, and I should have got that bet in after the show, but it just completely slipped my mind. The Blackhawks in the first period definitely cashed there for you. And the Blue Jackets, I tell you that Blue Jackets team, I love what we're seeing out of them at home. And JT Miller, Leon Draisaitl for those anytime goals. It was a freaking great day. Hopefully some of you took Braden Point for that power play, because that was at plus 240 as well. Yeah, if you can hit that like and share and retweet, I would have really appreciate it. And Natchez, I love Natchez for the anytime goal. And Kempe of the Kings, yeah, sign me up for Kempe. We're going to look at Fiala too, so we're going to get into that one as well. So no, Vinny, no worry to be sorry. You didn't join at the start of the show. It's like the first sentence I said. So big sis, good to see you. I haven't seen you for a hot minute. Hopefully you and your brother are doing well out there. And yes, I think the Kings are going to get the win. Yeah, Kings money line in the under. Jamie, that's freaking where we're going. Jamie just calling it the Kings money line and the under. The problem here with the Kings money line, so let's get into that game, is it's so highly juiced. Now the juice is starting to come down, actually, as money is coming in on Vancouver. I can't get behind Vancouver. LA Kings are so red hot at home. They're -176 right now on that money line. We have a total of 5.5. Again, I'm taking it to the under. If you parlay the under 5.5 with the Kings on the money line, it's coming in at plus 166. And I do think that is how that game finishes. Looking at the puck line for the LA Kings, -1.5 at plus 148, I do think is another really solid way to go. But that would have to be a 3-1 win here for the LA Kings, with us possibly getting that empty netter. Now, the Kings versus the Vegas Golden Knights over the weekend, if you watch that game, or actually it was on Monday, if you watch that game, I was so frustrated because we were dead on to hit the overtime or the under. And what happened? The Kings just lit it up in the fifth as Vegas made some stupid mistakes out there, and the Kings capitalized. So I'm looking at this one. Vancouver has to stand really tall, can't make those mistakes. Now, like again, coming in here for the Vancouver Canucks, he has stellar numbers versus the LA Kings in his career, and I do think he is a difference maker for this game to stay to the under. I don't think the Kings will be able to light the lamp as frequently as they would like to do here at home. And I think Vancouver is going to struggle to score on Darcy Kemper coming in for the LA Kings. Darcy Kemper in the last meeting versus Vancouver, that was when the Kings got that win. It was a 5-1 win for the LA Kings, and Darcy Kemper only allowed 1 goal and 21 shots on net. Now, the last time Lankaken faced the LA Kings, he had a really strong performance, only allowing 2 goals on 28 shots on net. That is what I'm expecting out of both of these goaltenders. I need them to perform like they did last time versus these teams, and I do think we can see that. Lankaken has yet to record a loss to the LA Kings. He's 2-0-0 in 3 games with a goals against average of 1.35. So very strong numbers, a 946 save percentage. So look for him to come out nice and strong. He's been exceptional as well in his last couple of games out there. He's allowed only more than 2 games in just one of his last 5 starts. And that's excluding the game versus Detroit, where he conceded 3 goals because that was in OT. So you're looking at Lankaken just on fire as of late. It's the first night of a back-to-back here for the Vancouver Canucks, which is never a great situation to be in, but this is a battle of the Pacific. So right now, they have the Ducks on deck tomorrow. They're going to look to beat the Kings. So right now, the Vancouver Canucks are sitting 5th in the Pacific, and the LA Kings are sitting 3rd. And like I said, you guys, how can we step in front of the Kings at home? They are 19-3-2, and in the division, 8-8-1. So division record here for Vancouver is 8-6-2. Now, Vancouver's stronger on the road than they are at home. They're 15-10-4. And I do expect them to play a really solid game here. But I think at the end of the day, it's just going to be the Kings getting the win on home ice. Now, I do think it's 3-2 or 3-1 style win here for the LA Kings. So I'm a little cautious with that puck line. Will I sprinkle on it? Absolutely. Am I going to look at coming back on the Kings if we see like Brock Besser or someone go up quick in that first period for Vancouver? And then I do think the Kings can come back. Now, on the Kings side, there's only one player, and for this full game, only one player I'm going to hit on just because I do think this is going to be one of the tightest, lower scoring games of the night. It's Kevin Fiala. Kevin Fiala has been firing absolutely everything that comes in his direction on goal. His anytime goal coming in at plus 180. I can't deny him. Now, you guys know I love Kempe and Kopitar, and I love Kempe for the goal, and I love parlaying Kopitar for the assists and putting them just together for their points and getting that plus money. But tonight, I'm going to be focused on Fiala. Now, you look at Trevor Moore. He's coming up a hot game as well. So if you want to circle him to continue to roll hot, I don't blame you out there on the ice. But you guys, it's going to be a great day out there. Let's go, Irish King. Let's make some freaking money. Yeah, yesterday, it felt like it was raining money, didn't it? So it was a great day out there on the ice. There's a couple surprising outcomes, though, in yesterday's matchups. The Blackhawks should have done better. Connor Bedard got them up in that first period, and then they couldn't hang on to that late. Montreal, you guys, we took the team total over. I wish we took them straight up on the money line versus Carolina because that was sweet money. The New York Rangers did enough to push that game over versus the Isles in a game that it felt like we should have been taking the under, but we did take the over. So, and Detroit got us that plus money as well. So some great games out there on the ice. I expected a couple more goals out of Edmonton versus Tampa. So Tampa's still able to get that win and cover that puck line. I still can't believe my Calgary Flames were able to pull off that win. And then disappointed to see Boston. They held on to that lead versus Toronto, but let it go. So let's do the recap, you guys, and let's have a freaking amazing day. Jeffrey, thank you for joining me here today. Okay, recap time. It's simple. Home team and the under. The under 5.5, I think, will cash in at least two of these three, but I'm keeping my fingers crossed. All three of these games, I can make a convincing argument for why you need to take the under in them. So the Winnipeg Jets, Ottawa Senators, give me the under 5.5. Look for, no matter who's in net for the Winnipeg Jets, to stand nice and tall between the pipes, and Allmark to play like he has played versus the Winnipeg Jets in his career. If Allmark has an off night, this game is going to blow over the total and the Winnipeg Jets win. If Allmark can do what I expect him to do between the pipes tonight, we will get the Ottawa Senators getting the win and the under 5.5. So that is a lot of faith to have in one player out there on the ice. This will all come down to Linus Allmark tonight. The New Jersey Devils and the Colorado Avalanche, again, give me the under 5.5. I do think Colorado can get the win here at home. I'm hoping to get a better price on Colorado. They are too juicy right now. They won that last meeting getting a shutout. Jake Allen, I do think, can do enough in this game to keep it to the under. And Mackenzie Blackwood versus his former team, the under is definitely in play. And then Vancouver and the LA Kings, again, the defense of the LA Kings is so strong at home. Look for that defensive battle. Look for Vancouver to struggle to score on Darcy Kemper. But Kevin Lankinen has been great between the pipes versus the LA Kings. And I do think we have goaltending battles across the whole board tonight. Only player I'm going to look at here for an anytime goal is Kevin Fiala tonight at plus 180. So if you don't like unders, if you don't like stepping in front of win streaks, today is not the day for you to be following my bets. But you guys, I think you can do a combination of some of those under 1.5s in the first period. First period under 1.5s, where I would be looking would be Vancouver and LA. That is my favorite first period under 1.5. I do think also between Winnipeg and Ottawa, I would play it there. I could see Colorado and New Jersey starting off hot and then that lockdown. So you guys, all the best in all of your bets. Yeah, Celebrini is freaking amazing to watch out there on the ice, right? Parlay all three unders. Okay, you guys want to parlay all three unders today? The under, minus 140 now, the juice on the under 5.5 for the Kings. So if we parlay all three unders, let's take out the over between the Toronto Raptors and the Senators. Parlaying those 3 legs at plus 525, you guys. So I don't hate it at all. If we parlay all the home teams, they're so juicy out there, but it's coming in. The Senators for the win, the Avs for the win, and the LA Kings for the win at plus 474. If you take out the Ottawa Senators and you think the Winnipeg Jets are going to win, so just leave that out. Colorado and the LA Kings coming in at plus 158 all together. You guys, all the best in all your bets. We'll be joining you back here tomorrow. I will be joining you back here tomorrow for another Puck It with Jo here at noon Eastern. Make sure you hit that like, hit that subscribe button over on YouTube. And if you could hit that retweet button over on SportsGrid TV on X, I would greatly appreciate it. Loaded slate tomorrow. Tons to go over tomorrow. We're going to jump more into a lot of those players hitting those milestones tomorrow and where we're going to look for those, 20th goals, 50th point, and everything like that. So make sure you join me. I'm going to start breaking down those matchups. My Cup of Joe will be out here shortly. So hit that subscribe button on YouTube so you're notified when that comes out. And stay tuned to the SportsGrid app for all of your Madden quickies. You don't want to miss out. The last Madden quickie, you guys, we had 4 goal scorers out there on the ice, and all 4 cashed for them. So that was definitely a hot day. Let's continue to roll hot today with a Madden quickie on the hardwood, you guys. All the best in your bets. A Captain Jack Sparrow parlay. What is a Captain Jack Sparrow parlay, Mac? I've never done one of those. If you're I don't even know where we'd go with that one. Is that like Captain Jack's a pirate parlay? I don't know what to do with that, but we could definitely go under 1.5 in all the first periods, and you're going to get some great plus money there. I think lower scoring games. So you guys, all the best in all your bets. Flames definitely did their thing. That's a positive we can end on. I'll see you guys tomorrow. 6 anytime goal scorer.